As a church leader, your time and resources are limited. It's difficult to find discipleship and Bible study materials that are affordable, easily accessible, and high quality. But there is a way to equip the people in your church every day of the week without losing sleep. Welcome to Right Now Media, the world's largest library of video-driven Bible study resources, used by more than 20,000 churches, schools, and organizations. With a Right Now Media subscription, everyone in your church can access thousands of biblical resources for kids, couples, small groups, and more. Give your members access to great content, anytime, anywhere, on any device.
And God specifically says, the way you think, that's not the same way I think.
Equip and inspire everyone in your church beyond Sunday.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. My name is Solomon Izang Isham. So great to be with you wherever you're watching from. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Bongani. You're back again. Thank you so much for being here. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your location and how you're doing. We would love to know that. And also, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is Solomon's Temple. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Solomon's Temple. Can I see more likes and for the videos? And make sure you share the videos and check out the other videos that we've created over time. I'm sure you're going to find something that would bless you. So now, here is a very, very sad story. You know, sometimes we see so-called men of God as God themselves. That's why we're unable to correct them, isn't it? A lot of us are unable to correct them. And if you try to correct them, people like me try to correct them, we get stoned, we get kicked. Because no, the man of God is sacred. Whatever the man of God says, he hears from God and is the truth and is final. So don't question it, don't doubt it, don't contest it. And that's a problem. That's a problem. I've had so many unspoken things spoken by pastors from the pulpit, threats of curses, threats, witchcraft from the pulpit, intimidations, lies, especially when the pastor wants something, when he wants money. And this is the case of this pastor in Missouri. He runs a church called Missouri City Church in the USA. Thank God for social media that you're able to allow content like this go viral and bring him to book, and he had to apologize. But what would you get to a place where you actually tell people that because they didn't buy you a watch, they are broke, busted, and disgusted? You see, we have to be careful when we hear men of God. Sometimes you think they're speaking from God. No, a lot of what they're saying is from their flesh. And if you're a pastor, you are not beyond reproach. You can always make a mistake. So this pastor now asked his church about a month before the time to please buy him a watch. And they couldn't raise enough money to buy him a watch. The watch is called Movado. It's a very special watch that it costs between $300 and I think between $400 and $3,000, which is a lot of money. And because they didn't get it for him, they were unable to get it for him. This is what he has to say to them.
Still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me.
So he said they are poor, busted, and disgusted because of the way they're honoring him. They refuse to honor him by buying him a watch. Excuse me. Anyway.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. Come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money.
And you hear those gullible people that are shouting, come on, come on. Excuse me. You want my McDonald's money because you want to buy a watch. an expensive watch. And I'm sure he has watches.
I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expressions.
If I was in there, I would walk out. He's beginning to call his church members cheap. Cheap. Who are you? Who is this man? Who gave you the audacity to even speak like that? I mean, he came back later to try to apologize because this thing went viral. He knew he was wrong. But you see how many of them is because it went viral and a lot of attention came to it. It wasn't good for him. But how many of these pastors in Africa will come out and apologize? Watch it again.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money.
Come on. Come on.
I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expressions.
Yeah, cheap expressions. Can you imagine people would sit down and listen to somebody lambaste them like that? Taking away, stripping them of their dignity, intimidating them. This is another way of intimidation and threat and manipulation, because he wants them next time when I say buy me something, you would buy me something. And then you have the gullible members that are there listening and saying, come on, come on, come on. Come on with what? Lies and threats and intimidations? Now, this Movado watch that he wants them to, a watch, for goodness sake, a watch. You remember us as Africans, where we came from? We can actually look at the sun and determine and know what time it is. Because God has given us that wisdom, that connection with his creation, nature. A watch that cost between $400 and $3,000. These are some of the Movado watch. In case you're wondering what sort of watch we're talking about, you can see it here. Movado. So it's a very exclusive, expensive watch. This is how some of them look like. This is another one here. And that's what he wants. That's another one here. And because they didn't get him for him, he feels he can just come and just say, oh, no, you didn't get this watch for me. So you are poor, busted, and disgusted. Intimidating them, calling their names. And a lot of that happens in our churches across Africa every day, every day, every day. What have we become? That we can intimidate people just because of things that we want. If he said, you guys didn't pay my medical bill when I'm broke, I didn't have money, I was sick, and you never paid my medical bill, I understand that you were sick. But a watch, and he has so many watches. If the problem was you didn't give money so we can go feed those poor widows, those poor people, I would understand his anger. But for himself, it is clear that this man spoke for his flesh. That's what it is. I'm not saying we shouldn't honor our pastors or apostles. No. But what is honor anyway? Because we've turned honoring into giving gifts. When I pray for you, it's a sign of honor. When I sit down and listen to you attentively, it's a sign of honor. When I give to you, it's a sign of honor. But now in churches, the only honor that we want, that pastors want to be honored with, or that we were told to honor our pastors, is give them money, buy them a car, buy them a house. That is not the most important part of honoring. Fact is, are you honoring them inside your heart? There's not even asking if the members have loans. Some of these people have loans to pay with the banks. They borrowed money. You don't care about it. You want them to buy a watch for you. Some of them haven't paid their kids' school fees or their rent, but you want money. You want them to buy a watch for you. That's what's most important for you. Our people. You see how we've abused honor to honor. And it's going on today in our churches across Africa. It's going on. Honor. Don't question, just honor them. And they have the right to come to the pulpit and just say anything and lambaste everybody just because they have the mic. Because they didn't get what they wanted. May the Lord save our church, and may the Lord save you. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. I'll catch you again later.